Today, on episode 14 of The Variety Show, the question is, can we even have civil discourse on social media anymore? Because I'm skeptical that we can. It seems to me that it is so difficult to choose your words in such a way that somebody can't take them, pick them apart, and criticize you for what you said. Or to say things in such a way that it doesn't leave the door open for someone to conflate that single statement with your entire set of beliefs. That they can't try to extrapolate everything that you believe based upon those single statements. And I'm not speaking from an ivory pedestal here. I'm not saying that I always go out into Twitter and behave like the best, most model social media citizen. There are times where I can be a jerk, for sure. I post things on social media all the time, probably, that rub people the wrong way. It's never my intention, I don't think. Maybe at times when I'm just having one of those days. But in general, I feel like my goal is to try and have a productive, civil conversation with people, even if we have conflicting ideas. And it seems to me to be getting more and more difficult to make that happen. And it's also extremely difficult in this polarized political climate to talk about just about anything without it turning into a situation where the negative emotion you feel from having gone through the experience of having posted it in the first place makes it even worth it. So much of the time I find myself wondering to myself if I should just not talk about issues that are important to me if they might be contentious. It's a tough question because we all want to be able to talk about things that are important to us. We all want to make our positive impact on the world. But when you do that and you're confronted with pure negativity or people who come to that discussion to operate in bad faith and shout you down and make you generally just get to the point where you feel like you want to quit on the conversation entirely, it makes you wonder how we're supposed to go about this world of social media in a way that produces positive outcomes with greater frequency than the negative outcomes. I don't know the answer to the question, but I guess I would say that there are a couple things we probably need to do to course correct. And I think for one, and I'm saying this to myself as much as anyone, is to come out of the gate with kindness and understanding. It generally doesn't work well to get someone to adopt your worldview by calling them an idiot. And I know how hard that can be, especially when you really do sometimes think the other person's being an idiot. But we always have to understand everybody has a different set of experiences. They have a different set of information that's coming into them. They may not have even seen or been privy to the things that you've looked at, and you might not be exposed to what they're looking at. And I think what we're lacking is a common goal. We're all operating with our own goals about what we think the best looking society would be. So I guess the first thing would be go out of the gate with kindness and empathy and understanding. The second would be, I think we have to do a better job of fact checking our own content. Meaning, it's not enough to see something that confirms your pre-existing beliefs and retweet it or repost it or share it, especially before all of the facts have come in. And I know I am guilty of that because we all are guilty of that at times. Nobody is doing that much fact checking on their social media. We have other things going on in our lives. And I think we have to be understanding of the fact that we are often dealing with imperfect and incomplete information and be willing to admit when we are wrong. Which brings me to the third point, which is being willing to admit that you are wrong. If you go out into the world of social media seeking only to substantiate that your viewpoint is correct and right, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to, even if you are correct, you're not going to learn a better way to have that discussion, because when you tell people they are wrong, they will naturally put up their defenses and they won't be listening to you. They'll just be looking for a way to prove that they are right and you are in fact the person that is wrong. I don't know what all the rest of the rules are going to be for us to do this social media thing better, but I certainly hope that all of you watching will go out and try to behave in a way that sets an example for how to have a productive conversation. Recently, I've tried to do that. Sometimes I've succeeded, other times I've failed. But what I'm trying to remind myself to do more and more is seek to find a way to take the temperature of those discussions down so that we can engage in a conversation where we hear each other and maybe arrive at some points of understanding. Maybe. Who knows? See you in the next episode. Whoop!